This is a message from the people of the future independent Republic of California to the people of the Islamic Republic of Iran. Today I speak to you not as an American, but as a Californian. I, like many other California nationalists, do not consider myself to be an American in the traditional sense. We Californians are Americans because we inhabit North America, the continent, but our history and our culture is tied to a California nation, not to the United States. California is a distinct society within the United States, within North America. We have our own history that predates America's, our own culture, our own worldview, and our own public policy preferences dealing with ourselves and with other countries. All of this makes us distinct from American history, culture, mentality, and politics. Just as we here in California say that California is a nation, something our head of state himself recently said, Americans on the other side of our border also believe that California is something of a foreign nation already. While we Californians share much with our American neighbors, the people of California are different from the people of the United States. Therefore, it goes without saying that when California becomes an independent country, the Republic of California will set its own foreign policy, independent from anything Washington may want. And this is one major reason why many California nationalists plan to vote yes in the near future on the question of independence. Californians are a peace-loving people who oppose the type of imperialist and militarist policies that come out of Washington, no matter who the Americans elect as president. Some of the largest Vietnam War protests were organized here in California in the 1970s. Some of the largest Iraq War protests were organized here in California in the 2000s. Californians have banned the United States military being able to recruit in their schools, while other states still do that. And in fact, it was a Californian that changed the law so that California children don't have to pledge allegiance to the United States of America anymore. California has an informal motto that has become more widely used recently. We believe in building bridges, not walls. The previous head of state objected to American plans to build a wall along our border with Mexico, saying in California we are focused on building bridges, not walls. These words are true in a literal and figurative sense, for we Californians literally prefer spending tax dollars on rebuilding our infrastructure over supporting Washington's military. Figuratively speaking, Californians believe in intercultural inclusion, tolerance, cooperation, diversity, and a diverse global community, and not in xenophobia or the idea of American exceptionalism. You know, the United Nations was started here in California first. Richard Nixon, the Californian, was the one who thawed relations between Communist China and America. Ronald Reagan, the Californian, took advice from the Esalen Institute here in California, and that's what started Glasnost, Californians. California's previous head of state also traveled to Russia when the American federal government had its worst relationship with Russia recently to talk about climate change. And California's current head of state addressed the people of Latin America, asking them to consider California as having a separate foreign policy than that of Washington. At a time the Americans were conducting immigration raids to deport Latino Americans and build a wall to prevent their return. These are some of the reasons Californians want to be independent. We want to set a new direction for California's future, both here at home and in our relations with other nations. Now, California is home to the largest population of Iranians outside of Iran, a source of pride for us. And the Iranian Californian people are an important part of our culture and our identity as Californians. An independent California will have the ability to set its own policy regarding topics of importance to the Iranian people. Topics such as the status of Israel, the civil war in Syria, the recognition of the Palestinian people, the enrichment of uranium, and the development of nuclear power in Iran, and the presence of Western troops. Many people in many nations around the world don't like the United States, or its government in particular, largely because of its aggressive, militaristic, and imperialistic foreign policies. We Californians no longer want to be associated with those policies, and when we become an independent country, the Republic of California will look to open an embassy and establish peaceful bilateral relations with Iran and with all countries without any preconditions or demands. Our campaign already opened an embassy cultural center in Moscow, Russia, and we would be honored to be able to do the same with the Iranian people in Tehran, to build a bridge between our two peoples, Californians and Iranians. Like Russia, Iran is an especially important nation and plays an important strategic role in the global economy. If the people of Iran let it be known that California could gain international recognition upon declaring independence, that would set a fire in California like the world has never seen before. Let this be the beginning of an ongoing relationship between our two peoples. Thank you, and good night.